Oedipus Complex. Now, this is a Greek story that was pretty much told thousands of years ago. And what the Greeks was doing was they was telling stories like the Bible, and the stories had a moral to the story. Or I would say like the parables of the Messiah. They was telling these stories and they had moral to the story. And so the story of Oedipus, he was pretty much a baby, and the oracle or the prophetess, she told his parents that he would fall in love with his mother and killed his father. So the first family sold him off. Or they didn't sell him off, they hung him up on a tree upside down by his leg and did something to his foot where it was swell or some kind of craziness. And somebody rescued him and took him to the king, and he grew up in the king's house with the king and his wife, and they pretty much I think he became a very attractive guy and a popular guy because he was an orphan prince, and so he wound up being a guy that would go to the prophetess again in his older years, and he asked the prophetess or the oracle, he asked him what would he be. And so they told him the same thing that they told his parents. Salaki told him the same thing he told his parents. They told him that he would eventually marry his mother and kill his father. So that's pretty much what the Oedipus situation was about. And it was a story that was psychological, that was dealing with the subconscious, because it wasn't literal. It wasn't a literal situation where he was trying to do these things, but subconsciously this is what was going on in his mind. And so this is what America is going through, especially in the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community, where they are being single mothers, and the men is being engineered out of the household by the dominant society, from a long history of discrimination and engineering them out of the household. So you have a bunch of boys and girls being raised without their parents, and the main parent is the father, because the father, he is the foundation. Once you eliminate the father, now you have the children living in no guidance zone, because the mother, she's not there. Her role wasn't there to be the guider. She was supposed to help the father guide the children. See, she's a helper. Hold on. See, the mother's role was to be a helper. When you go into Genesis, it tells you plain that he didn't want the man to be alone. It wasn't good for the man to be alone, and so he created for this man a woman. to be a helpmate. So she was supposed to help this man in his endeavors and helping him repopulate or populate the earth, be fruitful and become many. She was going to be the helper in this situation. But the father was ordained to be the teacher and the guider, and the mother would be his helper, his assistant in doing so. So when they take him out, she's freestyling pretty much. She don't have any guidelines that she's going by. She just going off the cuff, how they say, or off emotions and off certain situations, and trying to guide it, but it's not working. So the boy, he's not gonna know anything about being a man, because the woman don't know about being a man. She got an idea, but the ideal ain't accurate enough. Two, we are visual people, especially males. Sometimes we learn off the visual. We don't always have to be taught. Then too, not only we don't have to be taught, but we learn better when a male teach us, because the male always have to be an authority figure in most situations. Because when we come out of that role of authority, then that's when things get twisted upside down. You see, the children should never be in authority, and the woman should never be in authority when the man is on the scene, because he's the authority. So if it ever happens, the whole situation is turned upside down and it's gonna be out of order. But this man, he's gonna live his life as a boy under his mother if this father don't come on the scene and take him into reality, that this mother was just here to get you to the point where you can come with me and I can show you how to be a man. You see, she was here to nurture you and to show you love as a little infant for a short period of time, and then I was gonna get you and turn you into a man and show you how to be a man. You see, then you have the woman. Even the woman, she needs to know how to deal with a man, and she needs to know how a man deals with a woman. So once they take this man out of the house, and you got a bunch of single mothers, they giving their opinion about what should happen on this thing and what should happen on that thing, and they not giving it a male perspective. And the male perspective is pretty much demonized, because she's in a state of mind where she grieving and kind of heartbroken that this man left. So she got some kind of animosity towards the whole male situation. But she got to raise this girl up in that emotion. She got to raise this boy up in that emotion. And so this is why we have people not knowing the order of things, and pretty much it's just making it where it's hard for these individuals to get into relationships, because they're still living as little girls and little boys under their mother. They so used to their mother guiding them and being there for them, they can't come out of that stage, because their daddy never stepped in and elevated them, took them to the next level. See, he was supposed to come in and bring them into their full potential, but they're stuck. They're living a life stuck, depending on their mother, still believing the things that she's saying out of her hurt feelings. You see, even though she pretty much, she might marry another man and come out of her feeling for that man, but the children gonna be still stuck in their emotions. The boy's gonna be emotional. You see, he's not gonna be able to deal with women and be their authority figure and be their strength and protection. He's not gonna be able to do that because he's still living as a little boy, looking for a woman to be like his mother, some injured woman, some bitter woman. Same thing with the females. She's not gonna get with a strong, dependent, a man that she can depend on. See, because her father hit the road, and she's looking at it like she don't need no man. She's used to living without him, and it might be better for her to live without him. You see, she come up with all kind of mentalities due to the situation. So it goes both ways, and they have another guy created a complex for the women, but it's mainly for the men, where they take the ideologies of the mother and they take the perspective of the woman. That's why you see this guy, he getting pampered by his mama, and he's a grown behind man with a woman, and they got him on a talk show showing that he's a mama's boy. And see, the woman that he's with, Salaki, the woman that he's with, she on the same situation. She's a Oedipus mother. That's where she probably gonna treat him the same way his mother treated him. That's why she liked the situation. She was raised by Oedipus' mother. But I'm not gonna go into that too much. I'm gonna just leave it there and say the rest was part 2.